Hey, it's Cosmic Girl 101 signing on for an astrology report for now. And the reason I'm putting this video out is because there's so much noise. And if you're thinking, my goodness, it's social media, it's the news, it's my workplace, it's my relationships, it's myself. Why so noisy? What is going on? Where is all this exacerbated energy connecting and how it's actually affecting me? Well, the first thing you need to know is you're on social media right now. Right now. If you're watching this video, you are plugged into the social media chaos. The best thing about being your own self and having free will is that you can be proactive in making these choices consciously on what you tune into. So if you're tuning into this video, for example, you yourself, in some way, shape, or form, are interested in how you connect into this picture, how you're plugged into this, what a general word would be is the matrix. And in some particular way, you're either interested in astrology, as I am, or you're interested in, wow, what's going to happen to me? What's happening with me? Most people will tune into an astrology video monthly for themselves or listen to what's going on for Libra, quite simply because we all have that selfish part where we want to know what's happening with us. When we do want to know what's happening with us and we're not completely educated in astrology or a particular subject, we source out information through other people or other platforms. Once we do this, we are engaged and plugged in to other people's systems of thought. So dropping into that awareness of going, I need to be discerning, I need to be mature, and just be very, in some way, be mercurial. Listen to different options, opinions, and information, and be very good at pulling many pieces from different pies intellectually, but then bring it back to the self and sit with the information, process it in your own time, and throw out things that don't serve you and stick with the ones that you connect with. So let's talk about the chart. I've just had this really strong urge, and the really strong urge is, for me, is Mars is in Leo. Mars is my ruling planet. I've got something to say. I'm very passionate. So let's talk about Mars in Leo. And we'll talk in very broad strokes here in general astrology terms. Mars in Leo has something to say. It wants to declare, it wants to stand on its soapbox and be heard. And it certainly wants to be seen and recognized for its skills, talents, and abilities. So we have Mars, which is a malefic planet. Malefic and benefic through ancient Hellenistic teachings. Benefic means good doer. Malefic means bad doer. Mars is a malefic in the zodiac sign of Leo, the zodiac sign of leaders, people in prominence, kings, queens, presidents. Mars is a malefic, a bad doer. So what you will be seeing on the outside world and hearing and observing and possibly feeling within is just how detrimental it is to want to be seen and heard, and that's through social media, the radio, advertising, marketing. I think we all can shake hands and agree on this one. You will not go on any social media platform unless otherwise you're paying for it to stop in the background to keep showing up with commercials and marketing. It's a constant. I know personally when I have been listening or watching anything on YouTube or a social media platform, I am frankly sick to death of seeing so many ads come up and interrupt the stream of the video that I've been watching. That's Mars in Leo. It's getting louder and louder and louder and more obvious. Mars is a bad doer in the zodiac sign of Leo. Being seen, advertising, a leader. Think of leadership. That is Leo. Pride, ego. I don't want to hear it, Leo. You have to have ego on this planet. We all do. We all have skin in the game, but your zodiac sign is certainly connected to it. There is that element of the malefic Mars being the bad doer standing on a soapbox. And it's public, it's in your face, and it's a bit too much. Probably like my voice right now. Very Mars in Leo. Very commanding, very demanding, wants to be heard. I'm part of it too, guys. So how do we, in a practical application, deal with Mars, the bad doer, the malefic, in the zodiac sign of Leo? How do we cope with this? Use your free will and go, I need healthy boundaries intermittently in what I engage in, and just how much you're prepared to fluff up other people around you. If you're supporting people that are really prominent in leadership, marketing, and are very good and adept at it, what are you actually sold on? Is it the confidence that is exuded that makes you feel safe? Is it the attention that other people are getting that makes you feel you need to jump on board? This is where discernment comes in, guys. So Mars the Malefic in Leo is loud at the moment. Why else is there so much going on for all of us, within us and around us at this time? Well, we had the Malefic, the bad doer Saturn, transiting in Pisces. Pisces is a zodiac sign of compassion. It's very nurturing. It's kumbaya. Everyone is in this together. And at times you may be thinking, what a load of absolute bullshit. We're all not in it together. I'm feeling very isolated at the moment. I'm feeling very cut off. That's Saturn, the bad doer, in Pisces. Potentially what you could be experiencing if you're feeling very isolated or feel like you're in solitude and disconnected from everyone, nurturing and compassion. That would be Saturn, the bad doer, really putting you through it at the moment. So Saturn, the malefic, this is the greater malefic through Hellenistic teachings, is because Saturn is the furthest in regards to the celestial sphere model, and Mars, the lesser benefic, is connected to the celestial sphere model in ancient Hellenistic teachings. Saturn is slower. Mars is faster. So when you have Saturn in Pisces, guys, the malefic, the greater malefic, the bad doer, in Pisces, where everyone's connected, we're all in this together, nurturing, compassion, and love. We're also talking about Pisces being connected to media, movies, photography, art. There's a lot going on. And Saturn the Malefic is the bad doer here. So what's obviously that's something you could appreciate this time is Saturn, the bad doer in Pisces of media, art, should be speaking volumes to you right now. If it's not reflected in the outside world, it will be with your relationships and within yourself. You are drawn to media, marketing, the movies, art, music, and we get drawn to these such subjects because they provide a sense of unity, very Piscean, but they also give us a moment to check out, Piscean. And we have the malefic, greater malefic Saturn really putting it on in regards to no, it's bad, it's going to take time, it's determination, it's definitely about boundaries. Saturn is boundaries. So what boundaries are you putting in, guys, at this time connected to media, art, music, photography, compassion, love? We're all in this together. Saturn's and Mars, the greater malefic and the lesser benefic, are screaming loudly to all of us at this time. This is what you may be picking up. And if you think the confusion stops there, it doesn't. We have Uranus currently retrograding. When Saturn's currently retrograde, it goes direct on the 15th. So a few more days before Saturn goes direct. But Uranus is retrograding in Taurus. You know, the most predictable thing about Uranus is it's unpredictable. That's what you can predict, the unpredictability in a zodiac sign, Taurus. Uranus will liberate us, create freedom. It's wonderful rubbish. Uranus is too unpredictable to see anything predictable happen in our lives. And this is what you're experiencing now with the astrology, with Uranus retrograding in Taurus. There's a full moon coming up on the 15th of November, guys, with the moon closely conjuncted to retrograde Uranus. So a full moon, full display, a full release moment, if you will, of the things that are very scorpionic. Mars, the lesser malefic, transiting in Leo, squaring Scorpio. Mars is the ancient ruler of the zodiac sign of Scorpio in a square. And this does not look like any noise is simmering down. Scorpio is trining Pisces, where Neptune and Saturn are currently transiting. So what you have here is a level of distortion. The distortion through marketing, media, music, art, because of something very malefic connected to Leo topics. Leadership, pride, ego, wanting to be seen. And that is a lot to deal with when we're talking about mundane astrology and what's going on at the moment. It's too much. That's what's going on at the moment. It's way too much. The chart that I have up in front of me is connected to Sydney, Australia time. So if you're on the other side of the hemisphere in the northern, you may be going, oh, what's this? Well, that's just the time right now in the southern hemisphere. But the astrology and the aspects still ring true with the planets. Filtering things down and going, that's enough. I'm turn off this video right now. Turn off the news. Go for a walk, be grounded, do something for yourself. Think of it as self-care. Mental health issues could be going through the roof. Self-sabotaging could be going through the roof. And just wanting to check out completely. Why not? Couldn't agree more. The more we encourage and support the blurriness of media, publishing, marketing, music, art, the more we distort it, the less beautiful it becomes. It's counterproductive. Absolutely counterproductive. More. Mars and Leo, more. No. It will be quite obvious to all of us at this time just how much we are plugged into social media. This could be really problemsome for us to acknowledge just how much we're in. We're sold. Oh, the government makes me do it. The banks make me do it. I have to be on this new platform with AI. I have to be engaged. Yes, that is exactly right. So how do you navigate all of that reality when you may be fighting to keep some sort of authenticity and things that are real? How do you keep things real when we're connected to things that are Plutonian? Pluto is right on the edge of leaving Capricorn and moving into Aquarius for 20 years. Pluto, crazy. Pluto loves to reveal absolute crap. It's its job. It's what Pluto does. It's the ghost in the room that you can't see. And you're pretty sure everyone else can't see it. But then all of a sudden something's revealed. It's like, the aha moment. I see. I once was blind, but now I see moment happening for all of us. Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto goes into Aquarius on the 19th of November. And what does that mean? The ghost in the room with all things Aquarian. Aquarius is an air fixed sign. It's a yang zodiac sign. And Pluto's going here for 20 years. So what can't you see? The damage that society, social media is doing. The regeneration of the mind, body, and spirit connected to autonomy. Aquarius isn't keen on coming from the heart. It comes from its intellectual understanding and processes. And Pluto's going here for 20 years. You can bet your bottom dollar that there will be so many shady things going on when it comes to the internet, when it comes to social media, and really what's on people's minds. I don't think transparency is going to be easy. Maybe by the end of the transit, we'll have a sound understanding of what this social media platform is, what is the internet, what is all this stuff that we're all together. We're not. How are we going to deal with that? So the noise is loud, guys. Super, super loud. This is why, because these planets in these zodiac signs are at the end of their journey. And you think of yourself just, it's 4 p.m. in a very generic way. It's 4 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. You clock off at 5 p.m. And you have teed up this fabulous weekend of self-indulgence. I'm going to get a massage. I'm going to take myself out for tea. I'm just going to I'm going to love on myself, or I'm going to love others. And you're there, you're ready, you're in. It's just the anticipation is massive. And you're like, I'm done with my work day. I'm done with my work week. I'm out of here. It's over. I've checked out. I've checked out completely. That's the planets in their last degrees of zodiac signs. They're done. They're done. It's over. So whatever house you have, Capricorn, Pisces with Neptune at the very last degrees of Pisces, Uranus close to the end of the degrees of Taurus. You're done with these stories of these planets. You're done. It's over. It's coming. It's here. So that anticipation of the weekend's about to begin is something new. These planets are also responding in kind with that feeling of it's time for something new. So feeling that you're on the precipice of something new will be very Mars in Leo at the moment. I want to burst from the heart. I want to be my authentic self. I want to stand on my soapbox, but I want to be the leader in my own experience. That's not Piscean and everyone kumbaya come together. It's certainly not Aquarius. We're all in it together. There's no heart. It's all cerebral. How do we practically apply all this noise into dumbing down our days and our experiences moving forward is you do you and have your healthy boundaries in line with your social media and internet, news, marketing, connection. Simmer it down. Do your very best. Our nervous systems as human beings would be potentially through the roof. You'd be nervous even thinking that, my God, you have to look at your bank account on an online app on your phone and sweating bullets about what you're going to see in the monetary figure on your screen, which energetically plugs you into what you're worth and your value. That's anxiety, guys. That's anxiety. If you have your own social media platform and you're plugged into the matrix and you're constantly looking at how many likes I've got, how many subscribers I've got, has anyone viewed my content? I'm guilty of that. I'll put my hand up. It's an anxiety, isn't it? How well am I received? Do people like me? We all want to be liked, do we? We all just want to love everyone and connect, do we? No. No. That would be as absurd as cats and dogs getting on. Not going to happen. So there's a lot going on in the astrology that points to a lot of we're done, it's over, it's old. Can we get the hell out of here? I'm over it. I'm over it. Saturn's the big dog we should be watching. That's the big guy. Planet Saturn, wherever it's transiting in Pisces in your own natal chart. That's the guy. Neptune couldn't be happier in as much as whipping up bullshit stories and chaos and disillusion and illusion. It's letting its freak flag fly quite organically at the moment. Couldn't give a shit about the realities of it all. Saturn, well, to a degree, Saturn is about the realities and wants to know about all of the potential pitfalls. But ultimately, Saturn in Pisces is like finding it very difficult to have any sort of firm foundation in the watery element of the zodiac sign of Pisces. Very difficult. So there's my rant. There you go. And you may have many comments, which I welcome with open arms. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in a social media platform. But this is my take on the astrology, and it's exacerbating. It's rah. I mean, don't even start me on Jupiter retrograding in Gemini. My goodness, talk about big, big, big egos and communication, like huge. Right now, I'm one of them. I put my hand up. I own it. How could I not have an ego if I wasn't open on an open forum like YouTube? I have to. And then you have these astrologers go, oh, it's not egoic, it's all pieces. What a load of rubbish. But what's the message? What's the solution? Let's talk. Yeah, we're talking about the obvious. What's the solution? Well, Jupiter retrograding in Gemini really helps create order out of chaos through our logical minds, and how we can streamline that with clear communication. Jupiter squaring Saturn, Jupiter squaring Neptune. Jupiter is the zodiac sign ruler of Pisces as well as Sagittarius. So Jupiter, to a degree, our mental capacities can see the distortion, can see it, and the solution is processing it in a healthy way, in a very structured way, so it doesn't overtake us, and we can utilize information very mercurial and take what we need to take, bring it all back home, research it, find what we believe in, and then leave the rest at the door. Best way to utilize the astrological aspects and transits of the planets at the moment, in particular zodiac signs. I mean, we've still got that South Node in Libra and the North Node in Aries. The South Node in Libra is pointing to things that are familiar to us, which is relationships, justice, peace, harmony, balance, and equality. We know this is familiar to us, but the North Node in Aries is pointing towards independent, sovereign paths. So that is that polar opposite of what am I doing? How do I fit myself into this picture and keep my own sense of self, my own identity, my own power, opposed to not getting washed up and swept up in everyone else and their ideas of equality, balance, justice, and peace. You have to be able to own your own stuff, guys, instead of being sold to a story or a narrative that you see on an artificial screen in your lounge room or in your hand. And when you turn it on, you are plugging into a frequency and vibration level proactively. As soon as you turn on that television to watch the news, you are in. And all it is a piece of metal in your lounge room. And you turn it on and you're directing your attention. Your ears are alerted, your eyes are alerted, your nervous system is alerted, and you are proactively engaging in that. That old adage, what's going on in the world? What's going on in the world? What's going on with you? What are you doing? What's going on with you? North Node in Aries. What's going on in the world? South Node in Libra. Everyone's in it together. And Pisces. What's justice? What's law? What's equality? What's balance? What's fair? What's harmonious? How are you going with all of that noise? How are you keeping your own stuff together? I'm going to leave it there, guys. That was my Mars in Leo rant. I'm uploading all the astrology reports of the rising signs right now, so stay tuned to that in December. I have a one-time offer. If you're interested in that, click on the video on my YouTube channel. It's an astrology report for 2025. Yeah, I just had this surge of energy, Mars in Leo, to get on my own soapbox and just call out the absolute bloody obvious, but also wanting it to be solution-based. Understand what you're plugging into consciously on a day-to-day rhythm and cycle. What's good for you, know your limits, hard no's, and affirmative yeses. I just seriously, guys, have just had this huge spider come down on a web in front of me. Now, what does that mean when we're talking about symbology, when we have objects talking to us really loudly? Well, we've got a spider right in front of me, just wow, going up and down this web. And we're talking about the web, we're talking about connectivity, we're talking about how we're all plugged into this together, and the web, a spider keeps weaving and weaving and weaving and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. and it can really be quite majestic and beautiful, but the time to create that web is incredible, and the art that goes into it. So when I see this spider now, and I'm looking up at it as I'm talking, I hope my audio is okay. What I recognize is, my God, and it's climbing back up. So I wonder if we're climbing out of this web of connectivity that's really quite draining, and we're moving towards that north node in Aries. I'm looking up, I'm not looking down. If we really are, what I can feel channeling right now is drawing in that Martian, Mars rules Aries where the north node is, of, yeah, let's just do us. Let's just climb to the top of our own selves. What a wonderful symbolic message from the spider. Incredible. That may also speak volumes about my environment. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, I'm Cosmic Girl. Thanks for tuning in. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and it's a little impromptu.